The limbic system is defined as the region on the basis of function rather than anatomy, and it is located at the center of the cerebral hemisphere, deep by the uh, longitudinal fissure, and along with the diencephalon. So the medial region of the cerebral hemisphere, along with the diencephalon, which consists of some specialized structure, are comprised of the limbic system. Now, this is just a collective term for a group of structures that help us in memory and emotions. The so the main functions of the limbic system include storage and retrieval of information that take place in two stages. The first one is the short-term memory. The second one is long-term memory. Short-term memory holds a small amount of information for a few seconds or minutes, and the long-term memory stores limitless amount of information for several years together. And the structures that are involved in formation of long-term memory is the hippocampus, and the amygdala is also involved in memory processing. Okay, so formation of new memories involves the hippocampus, and if you watch this video and this link right here, it's a very interesting video and you must watch this. And this is a region where a long-term memory is processed, okay, and stored. Obviously, every part in the brain eventually gets relays information to different parts of the cerebrum. So if you take a look at the limbic system is highlighted in purple over here. The limbic system allows us to have feelings about a thought like winning a lottery, or maybe an upcoming vacation to, say, the beach in Florida. And it also allows us to have rage-like emotions, or you can see that the olfactory bulb is also connected to the limbic system. So every time we smell something, we either like it or dislike it. Okay, and that's why we have a strong a sense of emotion towards something that smells good, or something that stinks really bad. Okay, so the limbic system includes the olfactory bulb, the amygdala right over here, and you have the hippocampus right by the amygdala, and the hypothalamus and the thalamus. So these structures are all together comprised of the limbic system. So the limbic system in general can integrate and respond to many different stimuli because it's connected to several different parts of the higher and lower regions of the brain. Now, most information in the limbic system passes through the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus processes information like emotional responses, as well as information like visceral function of the autonomic nervous system and autonomic structures. So we can feel acute emotional stress, or acute illness due to a problem in structures like the heart, right? So the hypothalamus is highly responsive to, or it relays information like heartburn and high blood pressure to other structures of the brain. Now, the emotion influenced illness are called psychosomatic illnesses. They are called psychosomatic illness. And the hippocampus and limbic system, the hippocampus in the limbic system is responsible for storage and retrieval of new long-term memories. And the amygdala, that's right by the what is this called, hippocampus, is also involved in memory processing. So both of these work together. So keep in mind the limbic system is not a system on its own, but it's a region defined on the basis of function rather than anatomy. Highlighted in green over here is the reticular formation. Now the reticular formation is mostly composed of white matter, and these are highly specialized structures that extend through the brainstem, as you can see, and a section of this is known as the reticular activating system. Now the reticular activating system constantly supplies impulses to the cerebral cortex, and it helps in filtering sensory outputs that go to the cerebral cortex, and it is inhibited by the sleep centers in the hypothalamus because this information must pass through the hypothalamus. Now there's another section of the reticular formation that also has a motor section, and this motor section goes towards the spinal cord through the reticulospinal tract. So the tracts that carry the descending information from the reticular formation are known as the reticulospinal tracts. So the reticular spinal tracts are basically the region that project towards the spinal cord, and they carry motor information. So this is a motor section in the reticular activating system.